Hi, good evening, everyone. This is Alamjeet Flora from Pothos Events. Welcome to the Wednesday Talk Show. We are going live today from Sweden, like always, and we have a guest joining us from India. Today is a very interesting topic. We're talking about eyes. Eyes is, used is a very crucial part of all our senses. So your eyesight is one of the most important senses. 80% of what we perceive comes through our eyes, sense of sight. Most of the poets, the singers have used eyes as their inspiration and produced hit songs. Companies talk about vision settings. They talk to the employees about keeping their eyes on the best things. In short, what I mean is to say eyes is used in various contexts in our lives and making it one of the key organs to be taken very seriously. And our guest today takes it even to another level. We have with us today Siddhi Shah. She's an eye yoga specialist and she practices eye yoga and helps a lot of people, more than 1,700 people she has helped till today. She is passionate about natural healing methods and healthy living. She started in 2014 and has worked with over 1,700 clients around the world. So I'm very glad to welcome on the Wednesday Talk Show today, Siddhi Shah. Hi,
Hello.
Siddhi. Welcome to the Wednesday Talk Show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this warm introduction. I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Today we are going to be talking to a global audience. We have people joining us from Sweden, Norway, and UK, a lot of other places as well. Of course, India also joins us today. So we are going to be talking about yoga. And before that, please tell us something about yourself and your journey of Rejuvenetra.
So now Rejuvenetra, the name has been changed to the Eye Yoga Center because for the longest time I had participants all over the world. It was very difficult for people to understand. So
To
now it's
pronounce that, yes.
yes. So now it's the Eye Yoga Center, and so yes, my journey started some 8 years back, and I was a teacher before that. So
Mhm.
yes, and this just kind of fell in my lap because my going to be family, the one I'm going to get married into,
Okay.
my mother-in-law actually has been running Sampurna Eye Care, okay, for like 25 years. So
Wow.
it was always there. I never had that keen interest, but somehow I remember when I developed glasses, it was always like, in college when we were told that now to you have to wear glasses always. And I remember
Yeah.
she had told me that, you try it.
Hmm.
So kind of kind of got my curiosity up. And honestly, more than that was also when I still remember one of the children that I had seen some years ago, and he was just a 2-year-old baby, and he had
Okay.
glasses completely on his head.
Yes.
Okay, the 2-year-old
Hmm.
cannot carry his own glasses, and that time I
Yes.
was like, this is so heartbreaking.
Yes,
So
it is.
yes, I tried it on my own, and I realized that this actually works. Eye
Hmm.
exercises work, but along with that I dived into the journey of nutrition, is because I
Yeah.
had migraine for the longest time. So at a very young age, when I was like really consuming a lot of pills, I understood that nutrition is the key even when it comes to a good eyesight. So in my
Absolutely.
program we don't only have eye exercises, we have the nutrition also, which is very important. And yes, then my journey began. And in the beginning it was just to get rid of glasses, any number, -4, -7. And then
Yeah.
later, I started getting cases of cataract and macular degeneration. These cases, there is no, like, the damage on the eyes is a lot, so basically a person cannot see. But till
Hmm.
date I have cases. In fact, my oldest is in Canada right now. She's 87, and she's on her
Wow.
way to, like, she tells me that now I'm able to see faces of people. Now I'm able to see that the curtain has a texture, and it's
Oh,
just simple eye exercise. So 8 years, and just I think what I would say is my participants have actually taught me, because there is no rigid curriculum which says that if you do this, in
yeah.
terms of eye exercise, it's always I'm learning every day. So yeah, that's how it's been, you know.
I must say you're doing a very noble and a very blessed job, helping an 87-year-old and a 2-year-old both. I can
Yeah.
imagine as a mother how stressful it is to just see your
Yeah.
child wear those glasses.
Yes.
So a big thank you to begin with to do this, come on this journey and help so many people change their lives. So, going ahead, many people do not know about eye yoga. Could you explain more about the benefits of eye yoga? And is this like, as you have already mentioned, it's for all age groups. So, can you
Hmm.
like elaborate on how everyone can be benefited from this?
Yes. Yes. So see, now we all are living in the gadget age. In fact, COVID
Yeah,
has really forced us.
to
Now
be
we
there.
are, yes, we are hearing the words online every day, all day. And
Yes,
let me tell you, during COVID, at least I saw a really high rise in children. Like I used to get children with bad eye issues, but not so bad. Now I get
yeah,
kids with the number of -13, -14, and these are just beginning numbers at the age of 4 and 5. So,
yes,
like let me tell you, 7 8 years back, if a person used to finish the program with me, I never told them to do any maintenance. Now I don't say that. Now it's like, a
Mhm.
workout. You, yeah, work out in the week because you know you're going to eat junk during the weekend, so you have to take
Yes,
care of your body. And a simple thing is, sadly, with eyes, nobody has told us, like, we have our parents and grandparents and all who tell us that, 1 hour in a day you should walk, you should not
yeah,
sit, all these
mm.
things pata hai, we are doing it. But when
Yeah,
it comes to eyes, other than looking at greenery or having carrot juice, I have also never heard of an eye exercise as a child. So
yes.
now
It
when
was. It's
children,
not too common.
it's
Yeah,
no, not at all. And now when I joined the dots, I realized that pehle in my routine, okay, there were
hmm,
eye exercises happening, like, taking things out from the attic, or, playing badminton, and, the shuttlecock getting stuck in the tree. I kept looking up. Kids looked up. Now that's not the, thing that's happening. And
yeah. They're
second, now
always on their phone.
yes, and because of COVID, it's only screens. So you wake up to your mobile phone, and then you have your laptop, then you have your TV for entertainment, then there's iPad, reading, entertainment, work, studying, now
Everything,
everything is, you know
everything.
let me tell you this, and as much as I can, the effects are dangerous when it comes to screen time on eyes. I
Yeah,
keep stressing it with parents that pehle chalta tha if kids didn't do, but now what ideally we should do is, just starting from the age of 3, get them to do some exercises, so we know that the visual organ is growing properly till the age of 8 9. As in,
right,
it's like a lifestyle habit. So, like, as a kid, you have to go down to play, you have to do some eye exercises if you're using the laptop. Teenage
right.
years, it has to sink in that if I'm going to watch Netflix for a very long time, I better do my eye exercises. Growing up adults, I can say corporate adults, working adults, you're using the screen, you're using the email, do some exercise. So it begins with
Exercise.
prevention as a child, and then slowly you protect your eyes, then you manage the damage that the screen is causing, then you go to reversing the damage, so that
Yeah.
you can have a life which is free of eyesight, I mean, so
Is
free
it
of eye issues.
easier to reverse considering that, we are, it's only going to increase being online. It's not going to
Exactly.
decrease. So do you think
Exactly.
there's possibility?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. It's
Yeah.
just about no intent, like how much is your intent. Like I see parents who come in and they have, like, the children have high numbers, or corporate working adults. Like, I'll give you an example. Yesterday I had somebody who's a 40-year-old, and she's like, Abhi to lag gaya, I'm after 40. There's a strong myth about that, but you will
Yeah.
never see villagers wearing glasses. You'll never see
Hmm.
anybody in the village or up north at the age of 80 also wearing glasses.
Wearing glasses. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah, you
agree with.
can reverse it, and I can say you can start very young by the age of 3, and just take care of it. In fact, the most important organ in our body, and sadly the most ignored one also.
Yes, very true.
Mm.
I'm so happy I'm taking this topic forward with you. We also had a very good response when you came on our show, The Holistic Life. So you have impacted many people, and I'm so glad to have you and have this discussion with you today. So, how long does it take once we start? Supposing I have a number, is it possible to reverse? And how long it can take for someone?
So
And
see,
what
I'll tell
steps
you what.
also?
For the longest time, even when I was studying, okay, and even when I studied with my mother-in-law, I studied with my guru and everybody, there was a lot of emphasis given on the word number. Okay,
Yeah.
the eye number. So, for example, you go to, you start showing some symptoms in the eye, like watering or headaches or something, and you go and get your eyes checked. The first thing you'll get to know is that your number is, say, minus 0.50, which is negligible. Okay,
Hmm.
the next thing you know, you're told that you have to wear glasses.
Yeah.
Of course you cannot see, so you don't want to strain your eyes. But when I started studying, I realized that if I'm going to wear glasses, then why is my number going up every time?
Yeah,
Why is it
true.
that every year when I go, my number is actually going up? So how is it that
Increasing.
glasses are not good?
Yeah.
Then when,
Yeah.
as and when I got patients, and as and when I got participants, I realized that the vision and the power are two different concepts. A power is just the size of the eyeball, but so I have people who have numbers of -4 and 5, but their
Mhm.
vision is excellent. So how do you
Oh,
know if your eyes are good or bad? So what I feel is you have to always check your eyes with the functional ability of the visual organ.
okay.
Basically, how much can you read? So if I tell you to
Mhm.
check the strength of your leg, okay, one
Okay.
is you will weigh
Mm-hmm.
yourself and you'll be like, okay, I'm 80 kilos, for example, I'm heavy for my height and my age. But if you can run a marathon, then that weight will not matter. you
Yeah.
know when it comes, yeah, sorry, when it comes to the visual organ, you have to check your reading.
Okay.
How much can you read? Now, to answer your question, it depends from patient to patient, how long it takes, how much damage is there. People always feel that if it's a -1 number, then I'll get done very early, but that's not the case. I've had a mother daughter who's joined my program where the mother is a -4 who's been wearing it for 30 years, and the daughter
Okay.
is just a -1. The daughter and the mother are at the same distance when it comes to reading. They are at 1 meter. So if I
Okay.
were to check my knowledge, like a layman understanding, that
Mm-hmm.
-1 the lesser number hai, that should get done early, but that's not the case. It depends on how strong your eyes, how good your immune system is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So one
Okay.
month to know where it takes, it definitely, that's why my programs are 10-day home program. There is a 21-day home program, and there is a 3-month home program,
Okay.
you know. So
Yeah.
it definitely takes a month, I would say.
I'm sure this question is going to come up because you're talking about your program. So, do you do these online also? Because if
Yes.
guys from, okay, that's good to know.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, my home program. So it's not like a Zoom session because that will negate the entire point. I cannot
Yeah.
get you to see the screen and do the eye exercises. So what
Right.
we do is very simple. The 10-day is just about protecting and preventing, which
Mm-hmm.
is basically when people just start showing symptoms. Like thoda dukh raha hai, or it's paining, or it's watering. So they do 10-day and they get the solution. A 30-day is more on refractive errors, where every week we just send you videos. You just look at
Okay.
the video, and every day a task is given. You just do that. And see,
Okay.
eyesight is something I tell all my participants, more than me, you will know, because you have to read, you have to see. So today,
Yeah.
when you say, I cannot read the TV subtitles, after the exercises of 10 days, you are the one who's going to read it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. And then we are the one who have to not look at the screen too much and
Oh,
exercise
yes.
what you give.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. Good, good, good. So we are talking already about kids, being on the screen a lot. Are there any more tips that you have how the mothers can protect the
Yeah, so
kids?
see, the first thing I would like to say is, like, during COVID, what has forced us is the screen time. I mean, that is there. We can't really do anything. So
Yeah.
rather, let's understand what screen is good and bad. So let me tell
Hmm.
you, till the ages of 1 to 10, just don't give the mobile, don't give the iPad, because that is criminal to do that. You can give them
Yeah.
TV if you want. Because the moment, see, if you go on your phone, okay, this is my phone and I'm using it, I go like this. You see, I have bent, so the
Yeah.
blood flow is stopping. But the moment I'm watching TV, I'm just sitting back with my head. There is nothing, obstructing the blood flow to my brain,
Right.
which
And it's
results in
big
cognitive.
also.
It's big and it's far. So, if
Yeah.
you think about it, when TV was invented, how many people had glasses as opposed to now?
Yeah.
In children.
True.
So TV, ipad and mobile, no, 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 till the age of 10. After that also, if you have to give, then make sure that children understand that they need to do some eye exercises.
Yeah.
Of course, working adults, all of us, we need to order things and all. So the point is, the screen, if you're using the mobile or the ipad, the brightness and the warmth should be less. It should not be at full, because that is going to cause a lot of issue to the eye, the blue light.
Yeah. That's a
Okay?
good tip.
Yeah,
That's a
and
good tip.
on the iPad, mobile, absolutely no. TV is okay. Reading
Mm-hmm.
in the car or reading the iPad or mobile in the car, complete no.
Yeah.
And what I feel essentially we need to do is, now that we have screen, do 2 to 3 exercises in the day. which I'll show you right now, which are very
Yeah.
simple. Just do that, and at least you'll be in par with the damage of the screen damage that's happening. You
Right.
at least, what you're doing is you're just making sure that इससे ज़्यादा खराब नहीं होगा. It should not deteriorate.
Get worse than that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I would really be interested in also knowing if you can give us a posture, because we are talking about kids, but even for adults, like our age group is got just used to seeing a mobile and a screen. We are not born like this. Our
Correct.
generation, the kids are born with the phone. So what could be a good exercise or a way or a posture where we could sit and watch, because we all are watching the screen like this, like our neck
Correct.
down. So is there a
Yes.
posture that we can look up
So see, I'll tell you
or
what, like when COVID, I saw a lot of parents telling me that we use the iPad, but we keep the iPad far when we are reading our emails. So if I'm
yeah.
sitting at this distance and this much hand stretched out, if my iPad
Mhm.
is here, I'm straining my eye because I cannot
Yeah,
read the font.
exactly.
Yes. So what we can do is, if we need to do a work related stuff, you go on
Hmm.
your laptop, you sit straight. You sit straight with your spine. Like most of the times, what happens, we are slouching like this
Yeah.
or like this. So just sit straight. And the most important thing is, I would say, take breaks. Now, it's the
Mm.
most common thing that, let me tell you, everybody knows. But once
Yeah.
you're involved, especially working adults, in even typing an email, we don't take a break. Ideally,
Right.
just keep an alarm in your phone. And like when I'm working from my office, I always keep my main door open. So every time I'm just typing, and when I even need to think, I'm just looking far. So that break
Hmm.
is the most important. You need to change your gaze. So if you keep your
Okay.
alarm at every 30 minutes, you get up, you
Hmm.
walk, you let your blood circulation flow, you stand near the window, look outside at the furthest point. People with glasses have to take their glasses off. Look at
Okay.
it, blink 3 4 times, because the blue light has made the eye dry.
Hmm.
Okay. So come
Right.
back. Yeah. And then I'll show you one exercise that we need to do, and then just start with whatever work you're doing. So the break thing is important when it comes to adults. iPad, you don't keep far. Mobile and all is there. You use it, but of course, only important things. And
Right.
the most thing is that I see sometimes, when adults tell me we don't sleep at night, so we go on our phones. Worst
Yeah.
thing, worst thing to do, because I've
Right.
heard of cases where, we can lose eyesight overnight.
Yes.
So that is
Yeah.
something which is a complete no no. Wake up to natural light. So I see people who get up in the night or morning 6 a.m. and they shut the alarm. Go back to what our ancestors has taught us, which is the natural light falling on your eyes. Wake up to that. Don't keep a pitch dark curtain. Let your
Correct.
eyes see the natural light for 5 10 minutes or even more if you can. Walk around the house, see, then get onto your phone. you know yeah,
Okay.
that's
Good.
simple thing.
I will just tell you a lifestyle that we have in Sweden. 7 months of the year we don't see sunlight,
Ah,
like in the morning. So any tips for us when we get up, because we have no other alternative than the alarm.
correct. But you have a lot of scenic beauty, so I would suggest in the morning, if you can just look at that. And when I
Yeah.
say look, I don't mean just looking at this big tree or something. Experience the detailing of nature, like the
Hmm.
cut of the leaf, the flower, the texture. That is what keeps your eye stimulated. हम क्या करते हैं? We are so running so fast in the routine and schedule. We
We
you know
don't
we don't
observe.
see the light. Yeah, we don't observe. Now, how
Hmm.
do you expect this to get better? In this is the work of this is to see color, to see
Right.
shapes. So
True.
just you can do is in the morning, wake up, do some breathing exercises if you can, simple, and then just look at the scenic thing, but observe everything. Let your eyeball move, but far
Hmm.
off, clear, not nazdik, not nearby.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Good, good, good to know. And what nutrition diet will you suggest for everybody, not just for people with glasses and all, but in general, what is a good diet for good eyes?
So, see, nutrition, let me tell you, 80% of it will take care of any eye issue. That important nutrition is. Like, I
Oh,
have kids
yeah.
who followed, adults and kids who followed the nutrition throughout COVID, and they've not deteriorated at all.
Wow.
Kids who went to their weekend homes in COVID times have
Mm-hmm.
not deteriorated at all because they were outdoors. And then there are people who have consumed junk, sugar, and all, and their eyesight has literally deteriorated. It's very bad. So what
Yeah.
you can do is start your day with fruits. It's a very generic diet, obviously not for people who have any complications like diabetes and all. They can
Right.
personally contact me. So always start your day with either hot water lemon, which is just to start up your metabolism and all, and then
Yeah.
stick to fruits till half of the day. So till 12 o'clock you stay on fruits.
Okay.
And what happens is, because till 12 in the morning we are used to the idea of bigger breakfast. That's not right, because the more cooked meals you're going to eat, your body
Hmm.
is going to take that much time to digest it. It is not going to get time to repair anything in the body.
True. True.
That's why when people go for these detox centers, or you see saints who are doing meditation in India, they
Yeah.
say sattvic food,
Sattvic.
which
Yes.
which
Is
is
this
less.
not like intermittent fasting also something like that?
No,
Because
intermittent fasting is 16 hours you don't eat. Here you wake up in the morning and you eat your fruits.
eat
So
okay,
you
but
wake
you
up
have
at 9
fruits.
and 10, but have fruits, a big variety, and a big
Yeah.
bowl, not like a banana or so. Have a
Okay.
variety of fruits. And I'm telling you, all my major severe cases, I ask them two questions. Do you consume a lot of tea, which is your milk tea? And they say yes. Do you consume fruits? And they say no. So fruits is very important. Then goes your
Yes.
lunch. So with your cooked food, you can have whatever you want, but make sure there's a salad, because it needs something raw to digest
Mm-hmm.
the food. Evening
Right.
should be anything what nature gives you, like a fruit, coconut water. If you need to have anything, you can have a popcorn, something like that, but it should not be cooked again in the evening. And dinner,
Okay.
light, whatever you have, soup, veggies, anything that you want, rice, curry, or whatever, but just with a salad. And of course, the dinner time should not go beyond 8:39. It should be
Yeah.
early dinner. Yeah.
Right. 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 Yeah, people in Sweden and this side of the globe,
Yes.
usually they are done with their dinner and all by 7, and they're early risers. We have
Yes.
I like what you've suggested because this kind of suits most of our lifestyles.
Yes.
So that's really good. And you were talking about people can get help online for sure with you, right? So that's good to know. And you were going to give us some suggestions on exercising. So can you tell us, give us some tips?
Yeah, so simple one is, like I said, exercising. I would say outdoor time is, like I said, looking at textures and detailing. That
Hmm.
itself is an exercise.
Yeah.
I call it scanning, where you're just scanning the entire environment. Do that 10-15 minutes a day. People who are wearing glasses, please do it without glasses. You might feel that your eye is blurry and you're not able to see, but within some time you'll be able to see. Your muscle
Right.
will get stronger. People who
Right.
are wearing glasses, a very important tip for you: don't wear glasses all day every day. The thumb rule is you wear glasses when you need to. If you're not doing any eye exercises, then just
Okay.
wear the glasses when you need to. For example, I have to watch TV or I have to drive, but I can't see, I wear. But if I'm eating my food, if I'm talking to my parents, if I'm just sitting in a group where everybody's nearby, I can see, I don't wear. Okay.
Good.
uh, yeah, that should be the thumb rule.
That's
Don't
good.
make it crutches. What we are doing is
Yeah.
crutches. Like simple
Right.
case, when children come and myopic kids, they have an issue to see
Yes.
far off. But even when
Hmm.
they're studying, they're wearing glasses. So the
Yes.
nearby vision, which is responsible to see near car stuff, that
Hmm.
also becomes lazy because of wearing glasses. So the
Yes.
exercise is very simple. Like I said, take a break. So when you get up from your screen time, you walk, you look outside, you come back to your chair and just massage this. Okay, what
Hmm.
is happening is, when I'm reading or reading an email or seeing, for example, this event today, this
Yeah.
is tightened. My nerves are tight. So there is no
Right.
easy blood flow happening. So I just, kind of open it up. The moment I will open it up by pressing this, it might hurt for some people. So remember not to press the eyeball. Okay,
Hmm.
just press it like this 2-3 times. You will see that your clarity kicks in. So every time you take a break, the first break, apne bahar jaake, you saw, you blinked looking at the far off distance. The second break, after an hour, you do the massaging. The third break is a very simple exercise, but also for my severe cases it has worked very well. Okay, it's called palming. It's a very ancient exercise, yoga
Yeah.
exercise. All you do is
Yeah.
rub.
Rub
You
your eyes.
heat. Yeah, for
Yeah.
children, parents always do it for them, but that doesn't work. So let's teach children very young to do it for themselves. And
True.
this portion goes on the eyes like this.
Hmm.
That's it. Your eyes are shut. You can imagine black. so it becomes more relaxing. And
Yeah.
just for a minute or two, if you have time, for more time, do it. People with glasses do this every 1 hour for 5 6 minutes. You yourself will email me and tell me that your clarity has kicked in a lot.
Wow.
So this is an excellent exercise. One
Yeah.
more which works very well for me, I would say, and a lot of people, working adults. You
Mm-hmm.
take cotton, you dip it in rose water. Okay. For
Okay.
the climate here, I tell them cold organic is important. Rose
Mm-hmm.
water, dip the cotton and just put it on your eyes, so say before lunchtime, okay, or after
Okay.
lunchtime. I
Mm-hmm.
have 10 minutes to myself. I just put it on the eyes and just sleep for 10 minutes. Okay, then
Okay.
again I can do that 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. when I'm done with the day. Just
Mm-hmm.
because the rose water is essentially just going to handle that digital strain. You're going to feel like, oh wow, the heaviness is going.
Wow.
So
Okay.
massaging, palming, this cotton thing. And yes, the most important exercise I would say is once in a week on a Sunday, go completely off screen. Go back to what our ancestors has taught us. Sit together, family, play board games.
Yeah.
People who are comfortable, just oil your head, because the nerves connecting from the brain to the eye can also relax. So
Right.
massage that, on a Sunday. Massage your
True.
hair and just be without the screen. One day going off screen is going to manage the damage of screen for the entire week,
Wow.
and you will see it yourself. So yeah, just these simple exercises, if you can make a routine of this, then nothing like it.
Yeah. Thank you. Your tips really very helpful, and they're so simple that I think everybody can do it. Yeah. Except for the Sunday no screen, I think that's going to be a challenge.
It
But
is
but I
challenging, but
think we
yeah.
would all like to work on it. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
very true. Good. So I would, we did talk about myopia, but people have cataract and vision disorder also. Some kids have squint eyes, and So can this
Oh,
also be rectified?
yes, yes, yes. Let me tell
Okay.
you, from any age, say my youngest who's joined me just 2 days back is a 2-year-old kid with a minus 17 number. Okay.
What?
And yeah, I just have a 2-year-old who's joined that. And my oldest is 87 in Canada, like I mentioned. But let me tell you, all eye issues, myopia, presbyopia, these are just different names given to one visual organ. And the
Mhm.
function of the organ is to see.
Right.
Because the parts inside the factory have some issue, we just have different names, but
Mhm.
work together as a whole factory where the parts are rusted. You give it
Right.
proper nutrition, you get the factory working with the exercises, you'll be able to see. Like I always give an example: if my ankle is fractured, or my knee, or my
Yeah.
thigh bone, it's all going to affect my walking. But if
Right.
I exercise my leg, I do physio, I do swimming, I eat good food, I will get the strength back to walk. I'm not forever going to stay on crutches.
True.
Correct?
True.
So that's all
True.
you have to do. So for all eye issues, let me tell you, there is a natural way to cure. It's just it takes time, and not like it takes 10 years or so. It's just that we need to have the right intention. And let me tell you, now the
Right.
world is moving towards natural cure,
Absolutely.
veganism. So,
Yeah.
and like I always tell, India is a country which is the origin of natural cure. When
Yeah.
you cold and cough, we don't run to antibiotics. We have a tulsi and honey.
Honey.
So I
Right.
think it should be, there only, that naturally let's cure this body because it has its intelligence. So yes, you
Yeah.
can cure any of the squint also. Let me tell you, we have fantastic results with squint. I put up all
Wow.
of this on my Instagram and Facebook. You can have a look.
Fantastic. Yeah, I would love to share your handle, so please share it with me so I can post it on our page. Do that definitely. And it's so good to know, that we don't need to stress about having these high numbers, and these can be reversed with good dedication, discipline, and good nutrition. So that's great. It was amazing talking to you, Siddhi. But before you leave, I still would like to get more out of you. So, any message that you have for our viewers over here?
Honestly, what I would love to tell everybody is, let's not take now with the digital age and the way it has grown, especially during COVID. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a scary path. We should not accept that, oh, I got glasses at a young age, or I have to go do laser. Let's trust our body. and
Yeah.
whatever works for you, naturally, of course, whatever, ayurveda can work, homeopathy can work, going to a naturopathy center, whatever works. Let's not take this for granted, because I see people at a very young age, having eyesight issues. I have people, young people, who come to me who say we want to become a pilot, and their dreams go shattering because, as for a pilot you need that kind of eyesight. So at a
Yeah.
very young age, let's teach our children that how walking is important, or sports is. Eye exercises are the need of the hour. Simple ones, if you can. If nothing, then join my 10-day program, learn it, and then do it by yourself. Just do
Exactly.
that also, it's okay. you know
That's
and of
good.
course, for complicated eye disorders, it's not like there is no hope. Macular degeneration, to give you an example, is a very aggressive condition. But I can give you examples. We have people who say that now they can see the moon shape. They can, do, like, I have a lady, she's also 80. She can now do the crossword puzzle.
Wow.
So, all these things, with the right intent and the right, this thing of the exercise, you can. But just take care of it, and take screen breaks. That's important. You be on your screen, but take a break. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have a viewer's question. I'll just take it. Do you give
Yes.
treatment for floaters also?
Definitely. Definitely. Yes. Floaters is
Okay.
to do with your retina. Once your floaters, once the retina is stimulated, you will see that the floaters are gone.
Okay. That's good to know. That's good. So thank you so much, Siddhi. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of questions coming up, and I'll keep sending them to you.
Yes, please. I
And
have
thank you
shared
for.
my website and Insta, the eye yoga
Yes,
center.
I have received it. So thank you so much. I will. What I'll do is I'll share it on this so
Actually,
that
it's
everyone can also see it. Guys, I'm putting Siddhi's contacts in the comment. I'll also share it as a post on my Facebook page. So please do have a look at it.
yeah. Sorry, there was no space. Oh yeah, superb. This was very good.
So,
Alamjit, I have a question for you. Actually, can I ask?
yeah, tell me.
So tell me, I've not been to Sweden. So is it that, how is it there? Do you see a lot of people walking with glasses on, children, or at a certain age, do you see people with eye issues? How is it there?
Here, people do have. I've seen many young kids also have glasses. It's not that they don't, but they have their own health issues also. Um
Oh,
Maybe genetic. So I don't know. The parents that I spoke to in my kids' schools, they talk about it being genetic. So I don't understand that
but in
much
the
because
school, do you see a lot of kids wearing glasses?
Not many, but yeah, few are there who are like, from grade one. It's
Okay.
surprising that there are a number of, children from grade one have, large number of children are wearing glasses. So it's quite
Okay.
heartbreaking. Yeah.
Okay. Got that. Got that.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So I have shared and the comments are coming. Gunveen is saying great tips. Thank you so much. And Pavanjeet is also saying thanks so much.
Great.
So
Thank you
we
so
are
much.
having a lot of people who have joined and they have listened into you. And I'm hoping that we can maybe in future organize a session with you in
Yes.
Sweden or something like that. We can do
Yes,
that
I
for
have done
sure.
that. Yes, so
Yeah,
I
I
have
think.
done that. I have organized a camp. I have gone for a 10-day camp and literally shown results of before and after. So yes,
Okay.
definitely. Yeah.
Wow, that's good to know. We have a question again coming from Gunveen. Is getting glasses directly related to screen time?
Definitely. Now, yes, yes, of course. That's the reason now I see kids starting at the age of 2 getting minus 16 and 17. Or in
Yeah.
fact, after COVID, I had kids who say their eyes are dry. I always had pilots who used to say that the eyes are dry because of the air pressure. And then
Hmm.
came the corporates. And now 4-year-olds and 5 years old tell me that we have dry eyes, which is computer vision syndrome, which is directly related to the screen time.
Okay. Yeah, because you see now newborns, they're not even a year old and they are
Yes.
looking at the mobile phones of their moms and
That's
eating
what
food
I mean.
literally
Yes,
like
yes,
we are
yes,
all guilty of doing it. It's not just, but it's really sad because we forget sometimes the impact. That's it's
Yeah,
having
that's why the
and
easiest thing is you cannot take the screen away. So give them the better screen, which is the TV. Let them see
yeah,
the TV. It's okay. You know?
yeah, that's a good option. I'm sure mothers are going to be very happy with this show. There's so
Um,
many tips for our kids. So thank
thank
you, Siddhi. Thank you so much. It was wonderful talking to you,
Welcome.
and see you very soon.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you so much, Alamji.
there's one more question coming. Sorry, Siddhi. And for
No
the
problem.
ones who use contact eye lenses, any tips for eye hygiene? This is a good question.
Yeah. So see, usually people with contact lenses, see, all you are blocking your cornea. You're blocking the oxygen. The cornea, which is the first layer, it functions only on oxygen. So when you put the contact lenses, which is a chemical, apne wo, you've blocked it. So wear it for aesthetic reasons. Don't wear it every day, all day. Go back to plain old glasses, and let your eyes breathe. The more you're going to let your eyes breathe while looking at nature and being off glasses, that itself is a very big thing to do for people who wear contacts.
Fantastic. This has answered many people's questions. Thanks, Gunveen, for that question. So thank you, Siddhi, once again. And
Welcome.
the questions are going to keep coming. I'll keep
Yes.
sending them to you.
Yes.
So
Thank
thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much. See you
Thank you.
soon.
Yes.
Bye. Bye. So, guys, that was Siddhi Shah. I'm sure you're going to take good care of your eyes with all those tips that came your way. Keep sending us your questions if you have any. We will pass it on to Siddhi. I've shared her contacts on this comment box. I'll also make a post of it so that you can contact her directly and get all your answers and solve your eye issues. Next week, we're having an amazing author coming, and I want you to join because the topic is really interesting. I'll be putting up the post very soon for this one. I'm superbly excited about starting this month because we complete 1 year of the Wednesday talk show. So, guys, thank you so much for being there. This has meant a lot. It was a beautiful journey. I have enjoyed meeting so many people through this show, and I only wish to continue. So, thank you. Have a great week ahead and see you next week. Bye, guys.